Oh, who's that in those pants? It's a Bottom from Bottom Nation. Hello, Bottom Nation. Thanks for listening. Great episode. Oh my, this is one of those episodes where you're like, this is why I do this. This was hysterical. We got into some really interesting conversations. There was heart. There were pedophile jokes. I don't know that I can say pedophile within the first 5 minutes of a thing. So Alex will censor that twice, but it's worth going through the episode to get to that moment where we do that. We have Gianmarco Soresi, who's a fantastic comedian. You know him because you've seen him going viral. He's a great podcast that I have done called The Downside. You should go and listen to it. And his co-host is from Titanic, which you know should by now know that I'm obsessed with. So yeah, this is a great episode about appearing gay as a straight man. And also a time he had his dick sucked. So enjoy it. I am also on tour. So, I think I'm doing 15 European cities. So please don't make me list them all. Just go to my fucking website or get on my email alert, please. And then we couldn't do this without our Patreon. So please consider giving $1. It's really, really important that we know how much we're making each month. So giving us that regular monthly income is so helpful for us. Thank you, you guys. Thanks for making this possible. Listener, if there's one ad that's going to be universal for all of you, it's cat food. And I absolutely love Smalls. You know my cats are so important to me, and that's why I feed them Smalls. Their fur is shinier, they puke less, they're in a much better mood, and they can't wait to eat. Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls. Head to smalls.com/gay and use promo code GAY at checkout for 50% off your first order, plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code GAY for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code GAY for 50% off your first order, plus free shipping. Listener, I'm old, which means sleep is so important to me, and that's why I absolutely love my Helix mattress. I have a lot going on and my bones ache at the end of the day. I need to know that when I get into bed, I'm going to sleep well. And I know I will because I've got a Helix mattress that was customized for me based on their quiz online, which you can take by going to helixsleep.com/gaysex. And right now, Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/gaysex. That's helixsleep.com/gaysex. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
I have been filleted by a gentleman. My first contact.
I love this.
My first
contact was with a man.
So it's a musical theater camp, and there were a lot of kids, and they were like New York 16-year-olds. I had not done drugs. These kids did drugs. So this one night, one of these New York kids just had us keep drinking, and I believe I had 15 shots of vodka. And Steve said to me, I'm straight, but I can make you feel amazing.
Wow, what? This is a porno. That was crazy.
Oh my God, I fucked you in the ass twice. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's the only way I could get on this podcast.
No, that's not true.
That's our soundboard.
Yes. Great.
Oh yeah,
Good.
you have one too on your podcast, The Downside, with Gianmarco Soresi.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't have sound effects though. I think I'd lean into it too much.
What do you have?
It's just like the music and then the 2 segments.
Yeah, you're kind of producing. You're like live producing in a way.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, and I'm so sorry. And then also, Sam, what a fucking hero you are to have flown down the way you did from the Upper West Side.
I flew
Hero
here.
or just not a lot going on?
Yeah, just sort of had an empty afternoon. If anyone wants to hang out, actually, like at any point at all, I am available. Whether you have a successful podcast or not, just kind of hit me up. Just hanging out. Last week in New York City had
I know,
nothing
and I
on
was
the
like,
schedule.
it has to be Sam.
No friends want to see me. Really,
We hung out last night. What are you talking about? I feel like our friendship is about to upstage Gianmarco because it is your last week here, and now you're co-hosting on my podcast, and like we were late for Gianmarco.
yes, I could feel it. I actually unCC'd Gianmarco from the email.
We have a friendship. We go way back.
wait, what am I going to call you? You know, because I had cancel coach and hall monitor to keep me from getting canceled. I was
I
thinking
have
about,
one immediately.
I'm
not Dylan Adler.
I'm not
saw
calling
that
you that,
from
and
him.
I'm not engaging in any niche jokes that the audience will not understand.
But then you shouldn't have me co-host. I gotta go.
Oh God.
Yeah. What was yours?
I was thinking maybe the chubby chaser
Oh,
to keep me from getting
hate
canceled.
that.
Don't it's so body positive.
No, it's not. I think chubby chaser is kind of not the term we use anymore.
But you call yourself a chaser. Isn't that short for chubby chaser?
yeah, and I still say it, but I think like the community writ
What about
large,
ass bitch? Can I
That's
call you that?
exactly more correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to refer to you then
I think you
for
should.
the podcast.
All right, fine. Just call me it off camera. That's fine.
Okay. Wow. I'm very sexual.
I mean, he usually calls me faggoty ass bitch, so it's weird he won't do it on the microphone.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, Gianmarco. Why won't
Weird.
you do that?
Do I have how many people's permission do I need? Like, is 2 enough?
Even that is problematic in itself.
Gianmarco,
Ask you the concept of the
no,
question.
you can't get 2 white people to tell you can say the N-word and you can. That's really fucked up.
That's
How comfortable are you in this environment? Because you are one of the gayer people that I know, but somehow you're straight.
pretty comfortable.
Yeah, you come
You
from
know,
musical theater.
You studied musical theater.
You know, it's interesting. So my trainer, my trainer, he's gay, because that's what normally
'Cause they
just who I
are.
work with. Because I wanted someone who could accurately assess my body with the lack of empathy that only a man possesses.
You need like an accurate measurement.
Yeah.
Like a boner is a really great way to know quickly how into you someone is.
Sure. And it's been soft so far, so I got to get working. But I was talking to him about he brought up seeing like Bo and Yang at a thing, and then I was bringing up, you got to see Dix the Musical, and I joked, I said, all the media I tell you to go see, I'm like always like, hey, did you see the gay thing yet? But then I realized in that moment, I was like, well, to be fair, that's what I'm consuming as well. My co-host
Right.
is in
Yeah.
Titanic,
Yes.
Dix the Musical. It was like a big event.
Yes.
It's just the people that I'm comfortable with, and
Yeah.
I think not to be too sincere too early, but
How fucking dare you?
one thing I talk about with my
You have a great laugh as a third mic. Maybe you should
I
have
know
done
the
this
third mic's
more.
gotta have a great laugh,
Gotta
you
have
know
a
what I
great
mean?
laugh.
I'm faking it. I'm straight. It's usually
That's
okay.
okay.
I can never be a third chair because my laugh you hear like
You do have a little bit of a.
Oh, it's
your
brutal.
laugh doesn't give.
that's why like Pete Holmes he can do his solo because he can laugh at himself. He's the third mic on his own podcast.
Yeah. Oh, he's really good at it. He will also riff through another guest, even if they're the most boring person in the world. And
I'm glad you
laugh at
watched
his
my
own
episode.
jokes.
Thank you.
I did. It was the most I ever learned about you in a conversation. So, Gianmarco and I have such a cunty dynamic. It's really quite
It's
incredible.
I'm
it's
having
a
a good
one-way
time.
cunty dynamic, and
No,
I'm
we're
just
both mean.
generally nice and sweet.
No,
Oh,
you
no.
were a huge cunt to him moments ago.
Yeah, good.
When
I don't remember exactly what
Yeah,
you
you said something.
I made a
mean.
joke about your shirt, I said
No, it wasn't the shirt.
it wasn't the
Our
shirt.
general
Get a
dynamic
little,
is like
get a little gayer.
This is how I said.
For the listener at home, ankles crossed, tucked into a little ball, and gesticulating with flair.
This is my point. This is the point that I'm trying to make. Is that I've always moved like this. I think sometimes there's some people will say, or you'll see in the comments, they'll go, "Oh, he's moving like that, like I'm playing into like some kind of gay baiting thing." And I'm like, this is how I sit. This is how I move. This is just me.
Yeah.
And
You're free.
My co-host of my podcast, who you just saw on Titanic,
Who
Russell
I
Daniels.
literally thought was a gay man and have been telling people
And
is a
tell
gay
me
man.
what- your
Russell
producer
Daniels?
while I was sitting here.
Russell
Say what
Daniels is
happened.
straighter
Right.
than both of us.
What your
He's
producer
straight, and Alex assumed you were gay.
assumed I was gay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in the apartment. We're having gay sex. We're having gay sex with Gianmarco Soresi, who is a patient lover, who did an hour of foreplay with me before this fucking recording. Downside Podcast. Go see him on tour. Follow him. He was really patient today. So can we just reward this man for being here, please? And he's straight. And he took it on the chin. He took it on the fucking chin when I was like, "You're straight and you're doing my podcast. You're gonna have to wait an hour." And he did. And he was nice about it.
Yes, that was the punishment. I have not to completion, but been filleted by a gentleman.
We'll get there.
Oh.
Yeah. Would that have gotten me booked sooner?
I feel like we're there.
I've gotten me booked sooner. Honestly, it would have.
I know.
Because when I hear stories like that, that's when I book people.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, I hear that. Oh, interesting. I'll put them on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I try to I don't know. I try to curate, not that you're not good for the podcast, you're here, but I do try to listen to people stand up and find the things that I'm like, oh, that could be a story for
Also,
the
your
pod.
crowd does not like men.
They really don't like
Which is
men.
why I'm a woman.
Say that in your show. I did your show and it was lovely.
Yes.
I did your show and you
More
gave me a
specific-
speech before. You said, hey, they don't like this. They don't like this. And I said, and in my head, I said, no, Gianmarco, do it.
I'm glad that you did.
Yeah.
I tell everybody.
Sure.
It's not just you.
Sure.
And since the cancellation,
I did the women be shopping joke on your show, and I was very proud of myself.
you did well.
Because
You
I
had-
was
you
like,
fucking murdered, dude.
Of course.
You murdered. You went, of course.
I'm bringing the best to your show.
No, but also you're a very strong comedian. I think it was post cancellation. Yes.
Yeah. Half the audience was protesting outside.
But what I was going to say was post cancellation, it's been a lot better. People have been way better audiences and more accommodating of men. But I mean specifically on the podcast because of the thumbnail of men.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which
That's why I'm
sucks.
sitting like this. So the thumbnail's really where they go.
Yeah. Maybe.
He sees a woman from the waist down, it would seem.
Yeah. And then as always, sometimes this little ass pussy ass bitch to keep me from getting canceled. He's so sensitive. He's so kind. He cries all
yes.
the time.
Yeah.
Give it up for Sam Morrison. This has appeared on Comedy Central and had a sold out
Oh, you do my credits?
off-Broadway run.
Do you remember the name of the TV show I was on tonight? She forgot it Sunday school.
And once met Seth Meyers,
Wow.
who is Sam Morrison. So my gay sex room this week, I just got out of a huge dry spell, Gianmarco.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I had sex with someone in a recent city that I'm not going to say the name of because she had a boyfriend and
He doesn't know.
he doesn't know. Yeah. So it was pretty cool in that way.
Sure. Where? Wait, were you nervous?
Can't say where, but I'll.
No, not where. I mean, like
My
in
hotel
a
room.
Oh, your hotel room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Post show.
Post show.
Now, let me just ask because I've only twice in my life, and it was at L.O.L. Did I have sex with someone like post show?
Truly could have said anything.
Time
you could have been
out.
murdered someone, and I would have been like,
Time
yeah.
out. Time out. We need to explain to the non-comedy audience what L.O.L. is.
Oh, God. Well,
L.O.L. is a shithole in Times Square.
It's closed now.
It's closed now.
Oh yeah, it's closed.
Excellent. Like truly the worst comedy club in the world. The type of comedy club where there would be people barking outside for the show saying that Tina Fey and Joan Rivers were going to be at the show to trick people to come into the show.
Yeah, and just aggressively where the barkers one of their tactics, they would have like a light that literally would flash. Like that's the kind of people they're getting, that they're walking around, they couldn't get tickets to Wicked, and then their eyes hurt, and they go, what? And they go, this way.
Wow, I didn't know
and
they
then
did
suddenly
that.
they're at LOL
And they literally
Comedy
open with a
Club.
drug deal. They go, do you want cocaine? And then if you say no, they go, do you want to go to a comedy show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's
It's where you get hate crime.
you
also
can do a lot of shows there.
The comics are there are a couple good ones like Sam and Gianmarco, and then there's some riffraff.
It's a mix of some. It's a mix of some fantastically charismatic comedians who might not be the greatest writers or who might rely on some old hacky premises. I wouldn't exactly call it as a super gay friendly space.
I believe Sam may have had a horrific experience there.
Yeah, I was chanted it until I left the stage. And that's how I'm explaining it. I was chanted it. I was chanted it.
Oh, my enchanting little
And when I started the chant, I was just trying to encourage you to lean in. But I worked there for 2 years, my first 2 years. It was a lot of stage time. And so it was twice that I hooked up with people after a show. And it feels
at LOL.
You hooked up with an
Gianmarco?
LOL audience member?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
so
a very
rough.
it's a lot of different kinds of people.
Is it?
I'm sure.
Yeah. People from out of there's people from out of the
New
country.
Jersey, people from Long
out of the
Island.
country who didn't know that this is
Sorry,
this
New
is
Jersey
bad.
and Long Island.
There's a lot of people from out of the country who don't realize this
I
is
had
a bad
the
Okay.
starting cornerback for the Colts in the front row. I called him a lesbian, and then I asked his job, and that turned out that was true. I mean,
Was he the one that started the chant? That
Pierre
sounds like
Desir. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you call a Colts cornerback a lesbian, you're gonna get some feedback from that.
No, he was so cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it was actually Rob Gronkowski. He called me a upon Gianmarco's request, and that was the beginning of the evening.
If Rob Gronkowski called you a I think I'd pick his side.
I'd get hard.
Yeah.
So it was both bad. Because when someone talks to me after a show, they think that I'm as entertaining as I was on stage.
Right.
And so I feel like then they see the, the open mic version of me.
Yeah.
And it's like not as funny.
Yeah.
And it's a little complainy.
Yeah.
And it's and both times were like two very bad hookups. Very, like, for the books, bad hookups. One, it was one where she was there with a friend, so they had a hotel room, and one of them like fell asleep. And I was like, oh, maybe we hook up in the bathroom or something. And she said no. And I said, let's go back to my place. And she said, only if you pay for my Uber back after. So we had this, it was a deal. Negotiation.
Yeah.
And then when
Is
she
this
got
a
to my
thing that
place.
straight people do? Only if I've never heard that before. Only if you pay for my Uber on the way back.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Wow. Yeah.
Girls have expectations.
Wow, women are different.
And then we got to my place, and I had nothing on the walls,
Yeah, sure.
And she walked in, she said, oh, your bedroom looks like a mental asylum. And that's how
nice.
it started.
That's good.
And then it was one of those things where
But the sex was crazy.
No.
And then she said, treat me like, not going to say that word. And the sex was crazy.
What word were you about to say?
What word were you going to say?
If you guys just let the bad riffs pass as if they didn't happen. It's on you. You're being super weird.
It was bad.
What word?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go more with like a bipolar. Are you in frame, sweetie?
I don't know.
That is your camera.
I don't know. Am I in frame?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can I lean like this?
Yes.
Sorry, I found my story, by the way. I figured out
good.
what it was. So you're off the hook, but
And
thank
then
you for
the
doing
other
that.
person, I went back to her hotel, and she on top, and then when she went up, she took the condom off, went back down with no, I maybe had half a second
Wait, what?
to make that decision. It's not stealthing because I saw it happen in front of me, but it was
Stealthing,
quick.
I've never heard that word.
You never heard that word?
That's
I believe
when
that the word
someone
stealthing is-
stealthily takes off a condom.
Yeah.
Usually the woman taking it off the man.
No, stealthing, I mean, normally when people talk about it, it's the man somehow taking off the condom.
That
But in
should
this
be-
case,
that's a crime. Is that a
I
crime?
believe it is a crime. But this person did it. I mean, I saw it in front of me. If I was maybe stronger of mind, I could have rolled away very quick. But I would have had to roll.
Like a moving
I was on the
car.
hotel floor, like it would have yes like this. And then what was funny because I'm very much I'm a protection boy. Like
Sure.
I'm too neurotic.
Yeah.
And what I remember is, she went back down. I said, well, fuck it. And then I hooked up with her the next day because I was like, well, I already took the risk.
Right. You
Might
got
as well.
whatever she got.
Yeah.
You got it.
But then when I was asleep, she took a video of me for her Instagram story. And I was like, no more hooking up with people at L.O.L. Comedy Club.
So, tell us what the video was.
It was like New York City, bloop, bloop, and then like turning to me like asleep next to her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Tova almost saw it. It was very bad.
Whoa.
It's a joke. I was not with Tova
Oh.
at the time. This is way before.
We didn't know if your
assumed
relationship was open.
I assumed it was from later.
No.
Like a screenshot.
No. But it
I
shocked
also,
me.
the gay in us were like, open relationship.
Yeah. We actually didn't flinch at all.
Right.
We were like, yeah,
I
you
have to
fuck
let me
We
everybody.
set up.
assume open until proven otherwise.
That's
What a
sounds great.
life.
What a life.
Listener, one of the best ways to support this podcast is to come see me live, okay? It's a really great way to just support the whole team and everything that we do here. So get on my text list or my email list. It's international, both of them. AshleyGavin.com. Go sign up, and I'll literally text you when I'm in your area. So you don't have to hear all these plugs. You can skip right by them. Don't even worry about your city. Just get on one of those two things, and I will let you know, okay? Because there's a lot of cities coming, and I just remaking this announcement over and over again. We all think it's annoying. You do. I do. Get on the text list, you piece of shit. Listener, as I speak, Fulton is rubbing his face all over mine because he's a happy cat. And you know one of the reasons he's so happy?
I feed them Smalls. I absolutely love Smalls, and my cats love it even more. After making the switch to Smalls, 90% of cat owners reported overall health improvements, and that's a big deal. And I can tell you right now, my cats puke less, their fur is smoother and shinier, and they just seem to be in an overall better mood, especially around mealtime. And the team at Smalls is so confident your cat will love their product that you can try it risk-free. That means they'll refund you if your cat won't eat their food. But trust me, they will. Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls. Head to smalls.com/gay and use promo code GAY at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code GAY for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code GAY for 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
My story is so anticlimactic, but you're in a long-term relationship. When you do this podcast every week, sometimes you have incredible stories and sometimes you have some Jen and I, because, we've been together a really long time, and lately, with tour, I've been kind of sick, I've been kind of busy, and we just needed to have sex because we were like, oh my God, it's been 5 days. We haven't had sex. We got to have sex. And we were both on the edge of sick. So we were having on the edge of sick sex. Yeah. And it kind of made me feel like, I don't know, I feel good about it. I feel like we love each other,
Sure.
Even when things get busy and hard, we're we got to jam this in. That we can have physical touch and love and connection.
Were you was it a genuinely...
This is when I bailed on you because I was ill. I was ill.
When were you... Oh, for the thing when I asked Gianmarco and then bailed on him. Mm-hmm. Great.
So really,
was it good?
This all has to do with all of us. I was really sick. I
guess how good was the
snotty?
sex, I guess is the question.
Well, that's what I'm going to get into. Yeah, snotty.
Because that does work if you're eating pussy, because it is mucus.
Right.
And it's just more
Snot
mucus.
on her.
I mean, it's not on you, it's not on her.
Are you using nose mucus for lubricant?
I'm sure it's emerged. Sometimes
It's
you get the nose in there. Sometimes you're just pushing it down like a little squeezer.
Now we found another story. I have fully snotted on a clit.
You mean like you shot like a snot rocket?
Into the mic.
Did you do a snot rocket like a boom?
Yeah, on purpose?
No, not on purpose. I didn't lift.
You're like, hey, baby girl, check this out.
For the listener at home, Gianmarco took 2 fingers to one of his nostrils. That is how you snot rocket, obviously. No, but I was de facto I was accidentally snot rocketing because one of my nostrils was in there, dude. I was fucking in there.
Yeah.
And it closed it up. So you've got a schnoz like I do.
Sure, my nose is bigger than yours. I wouldn't describe you as having a schnoz.
You wouldn't say I'm schnoz?
If I did a caricature of you, that would not be the feature that I would be exaggerating.
What feature
I'm
would
just
you
joking.
be exaggerating?
I have none. But you don't have a schnoz.
Alex, do I have a schnoz?
Not like
See?
not
Goy. We'll ask a
overtly.
goy.
I
if
think
I
that
have
you
a
do have a
schnoz.
schnoz, just not on this couch.
Okay.
Yeah, comparatively, you're next to some Jewish schnoz boys.
But you don't have a schnoz.
You don't even have a schnoz.
You have a Jewish nose, but you don't have a schnoz.
I don't know. I feel like when I get down on a woman's pussy, the snot is everywhere.
Oh, you get down on a woman's pussy and
I
you
love it down
sneeze.
there. I say, what's up, baby girl?
Can I ask this? Do you think you've never eaten a pussy?
Oh, yeah, I know. I have for about, I'd say, 4 seconds.
What do you think would be if we had a competition?
Yeah.
And I know it's different with men and women, but if I had to suck a dick for the first time and you had to eat a pussy for the first time, who do you think?
Can I be
Easily.
in it?
The answer is easy.
What?
Can I be in it? I want to
Sure.
suck a dick for the first time.
Sure. We could compete.
Yeah.
Oh,
Would it be
that's
fun if that's
interesting.
the kind of artists we were? just free and easy. I would totally, if it didn't have if I could still host the Disney game
Right,
show in
but
20
you
years,
can't.
I would absolutely be down for a dick sucking competition.
Yes, I would too.
100%. That's the person I would be so fun and funny. That's what they used
You're
to do.
gay for art, which is just gay.
Absolutely. But they would do that kind of stuff on Howard Stern back in the day, and
Right.
And I think Billy Procida,
Would suck dick?
he did one thing where it was 5 guys would go down on one girl and she gets to judge them, whoever was the best, and I'm like, that's fun.
It is fun.
That's fun. That's fascinating.
But anyway, what's your question?
Well,
What's the
can I just say,
competition?
clearly Gianmarco would suck dick so much better than you, just based off the act outs, I guess.
But also the experience level.
He sucked a dick before?
No, he's had his
Oh,
dick
sort of.
sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so I don't know
That's
if I'd
true.
be taking lessons from that. Like, oh, let me take it back. What would I?
No, you do know,
I
though.
think because I have a penis, I would know
Yes.
more.
He's got
But
the
it's pretty
equipment.
simple.
It's
I mean, I've heard
Yeah.
like what you're supposed to
going
do.
down on a man is pretty simple.
If I was trying to win the blowjob competition, I would just be given mostly a handy.
Just
with
the head.
I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, that's the thing that's going to get the job
The
done.
Gluck Gluck 3000.
okay, I actually think Ashley might be better.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I love how defensive you're getting.
Yeah, what's your technique if you're going to win the blowjob
insinuating
competition?
jo-
Excuse me, what is your what's your technique if you're winning the blowjob competition?
I don't know. I would win, Dad. It's like
No,
it's
you're
like a lot
doing
of
this-
suction and
doing
tongue work
this
and.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is the job to make them come the
Not everyone you
quickest?
can do this
Because-
2-hand shit. Jesus Christ. It's not all 8-inch cocks out here.
I don't know.
Sure.
Ashley,
I'm like literally.
It's just this massive.
yeah, she's only seen my dick. That's why.
What's
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Broadcast. Sam has a massive cock.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was a lot. That was a lot.
It's the energy of the pod, babe.
Do you think for sure that, like, if I was playing to win and we both were in a dick sucking competition?
You think you would
wait.
come close to me?
Sam,
Do you know how many dicks I've sucked?
Everyone stop. Everyone stop. We need some fucking rules. Okay? Sit down.
I get
Sit
really
down.
upset.
Alex, prepare to have your dick sucked 3 times.
Okay.
So
You have to go third to help with the handicap.
All right, fair.
handicap. I think I get to go first.
Sure.
Okay. So, but is it who can make him come the fat? We're literally talking about Alex. This is such a Are you okay?
Yes.
Great. It's is it come the fastest or is it best quality?
Best quality.
Best
So
quality.
whatever
Quality.
one you say is best, because come the fastest. I don't know this nerd.
So we need to know. We need to know from him kind of what he's into.
Wait, how long? If we're going like best, I mean, it could be. There's got to be a time limit. There's got to be a time limit.
Honestly, I think quality
we
is
can't
pretty
suck
clear.
dicks all day.
we got to be sucking dicks all day.
We have things to do.
Well, then you're not taking this competition seriously. I feel like if you go by quickest, then first of all, the person who goes first is obviously going to win. I'm going to be down there for years. Just like, he's already come twice. There's nothing else I can do.
Well, you're already giving up.
Yeah.
You're already saying why you lost.
Do you know how
Wow.
insane it is to make a guy come for
I've
the
never
third
sucked a
time?
dick. You've sucked several. I think it's a fair difference.
Yeah, I'd categorize it as several.
Over 50.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this would be quite a competition.
I think it should be by quality, and I think there should also be a time limit. So it's like, go for a couple minutes.
Now let me ask.
We'd
Forgive me.
need several men though.
Sure.
We'd have to suck several dicks because we'd need to know. We'd
Well, that would complicate it, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that to each their own? To each
Sure,
man
but
their
I
own.
do
Wouldn't
think
they
that-
be like that was cool?
I do think there's some with a woman. I think you could have 3 totally different experiences from each person.
Sure.
In terms of who's good.
Do you think in your mind, if we did with women competition, would you wipe the floor with me?
I would destroy you.
Yeah, I
That'd be
agree.
hard. That'd be hard to win. I'd be like, God
I'm
damn.
sure-
Do you think
you're
I would
great.
get close to you?
The honest answer is like depends on the woman.
Do you pride yourself on that?
When I first had sex, I basically was coming too quick, and then I couldn't get it up for a little, so I had to get good. But my honest thing is that it's for me, eating pussy is less of an art and more about like a lack of self-worth and really sacrificing the exhaustion.
Oh my God, I'm rock.
And-
Do you want me to touch your nipple?
Yeah, keep going. No, shut the fuck up.
It's just about I don't mean suffering the act of eating pussy, but like that you're pushing and your lip hurts and your nose, is it bleeding or is that her? Who knows? But you just keep going.
Do you like being degraded?
Not necessarily.
If
but
she says, "Yeah, you're like
It's
my
for me,
little
if-
bitch,"
if
while
they're
you're
digging
doing
it,
that?
Are
then-
you going down on women who are on Lexapro or like some kind of antidepressant?
no, for right now,
Because the
first,
only
I'm saying,
time that I was pushing that hard was when I was dating a woman who had a lot of trouble coming.
this is not about my current girlfriend. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like in my experience, the women in my experience have been
willingness to be
some
in
come
there.
like fast, some come slow, and
Yes.
and you just do your best every time.
Yes.
and you stick through it.
Yes.
And I've had some women where it was such an ordeal because they were on a drug that then they start crying, and then you do the
Yes.
hugging, and
Yeah.
then you go back down. And there's, it's a wide spectrum.
Yes.
So the competition could go a lot of different ways.
Competition.
Like I could think of a couple, like if we wanted to go advanced, that I could give them a call. Like some folks that were tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
But I think they struggled.
For you.
They would say that they struggled on their own masturbating. If someone's
Yes.
starting to come masturbating on their own
Yes.
to a degree, I'm like, well, if she can't do it, nobody can.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. And I think everyone is so different. It's really also just about communication and also like what you ate for lunch that day and what's going on like with your mood.
Sure.
It's like really very different. I guess
Which is why we need to control all the factors we possibly can of one person's life just for a dick sucking competition where we suck the same dick for 2
we
minutes
should really
without
be
coming.
raising people knowing that they're going into this competition.
Yes, we should actually foster a baby to
Yes.
then one day suck their dicks.
Yeah, I
Why
recently
do we
froze-
have to bring a baby into this at all?
I think we should.
I don't like it.
I think we should
No, it's
adopt a
good.
baby.
It's good.
Wait till they're of legal age.
Yeah.
and then as their tri-parents, suck
But
that.
always let them
18-year-old
know that this
foster
is going to
babies.
happen one day.
Yes,
We're gonna
absolutely.
raise them too?
Yeah, we're gonna raise
Yeah,
them
we're
with a lot of
raising
love,
them.
Gianmarco.
With a lot of love and purpose.
Do you think that's what Woody
Absolutely.
Allen was doing? He was just doing a competition with some friends?
Oh no! Wow, that's really. Imagine I get really offended. That's really fucked up. I would never make a joke like that. Pedophilia is not to be joked about. Just if you're a tri-parent. Okay, I feel like this is on you guys now. Listeners,
No, because
tune in.
because
How
when you
bad are these riffs?
Listen, I'm not a riff critiquer.
Listener, write in. How bad are Sam's riffs?
I mean,
I really want you to think back to the beginning.
I have,
At some of those beginning riffs.
No. The beginning is going to be cut out. I'm going to fucking demand it.
No, we don't have time. We've asked so much of Gianmarco. We can't cut. We can't have him
I know,
here
and
for
we
hours.
need 16 minutes at the end for the competition. All right, you know what? I'll take 1 for 2.
What I was going to say is that I snot rocketed on this woman, and then I knew the snot was there because I could feel it kind of like on her or like banging up against my lip a little bit. Ew, gross. But am I going to finish? Am I going to do the job? Like what you said.
Yeah.
And I got through it. I made her come. And then, boy, oh boy, did I very quickly scoop that booger off the top of her clit at the end.
Listen,
Went, grabbed a tissue, said, God, I got to blow my nose. And I just got out of there and I put it in the tissue.
I remember once with someone, there was a little piece of toilet paper
That happens.
gets in your mouth, and
Yep.
boy, do you have to just go, well,
Yum.
I'm swallowing this. There's no like watermelon, like go back down.
Oh, that's
that
my
is gonna
move.
kill the mood.
Oh, I do that all the time. I get
You
like
do that with dick cheese?
Well, yeah, because the guys I have
Ugh,
sex
I
with.
can't stand that you said that. Dick cheese is a horrifying thing.
It is horrifying. Women get it too, smegma.
I know. I'm a little squeamish about some.
Body things.
Like I'm not like an ass eater. It's like I that's not gonna
That's
gonna
okay.
happen.
It's okay.
I don't know. It's not. You should love someone for their whole being.
Oh,
I don't know
Yeah.
if marriage vows necessarily include asshole.
I guess so, but it feels like
Maybe
like
gay
fun or
marriage.
not?
Maybe gay marriage is more legitimate than straight marriage
Because we include assholes?
We include asshole.
yeah, but gay marriage is also a sin.
I had a gay roommate, and I remember he hadn't had sex yet, and he really expressed that he had a struggle with fecal matter, like really like turning him off intensely.
I
Yes.
had this conversation with you at some point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, and in L.O.L. green room.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's when they
the
started
place to have
chanting.
it.
They said, "What are you doing? Why are you? This is a lot."
Yeah, we did a live podcast on L.O.L. stage about fecal matter during butt sex. For some reason, they didn't like it.
The lesbians clicking exit right now out of this fucking podcast. Well, that's my gay sex from this week. We should go to your story. Your
Sure.
you were filleted once.
So it's a musical theater camp. A lot of
How
musical
old
theater
were
camp
you?
stories. So this one, it was like 15 or 16 because my birthday was
This
is in
like
August.
formative.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I had not had my dick sucked by a woman. I don't know if I'd even had a hand job at this point. My first contact.
I love this.
My first
contact was with a man. I fucking love this, dude.
So it was like
I thank you for being vulnerable and actually sharing your story. This is good for society. This is straight healing.
Yeah.
so all these camps. I mean, it was shocking. A lot of these camps, I think for kids, I grew up in DC and it was pretty progressive. Like we had openly gay kids, but I think for some kids who go to these camps in New York, they were from the Midwest.
Yes.
And like I saw a guy that came out of the closet in an acting class. Like it was like he was doing a scene with a woman and he started, like the scene wasn't going well. The teacher stopped and said, "Hey, is everything okay?" He started crying. And he said, "I think I'm struggling with the scene because I think I might be gay." and the teacher was just like, the teacher said, "Oh, do you like watermelon?" And he was like, "What?" Sure. And he said, "Okay, do the scene again. Instead of a woman, pretend that she's a big, juicy watermelon." And that gay guy is now married to the roundest woman you've ever seen. So here's the part that's true. That story is true, but he went back, and I remember he came out in acting class, and then
You're a Soresi head.
joke.
You're a Soresi head. You love it.
I love that joke. That was a great joke.
Do you do that in your?
Yes.
Okay.
It
was too good.
But he went back. But the truth of the joke does come from the fact that I went on Facebook a year later, and it was like so and so is in a relationship with Susan in South Dakota, and I was like, "Fuck, dude!" He came out in front of all of us and came out, and I knew lots of women at these music. There's one woman at musical theater camp who like the love of her life, her high school boyfriend came out as gay.
Yeah.
And also like it was so intense.
Dude, you must have been cleaning up.
I was so obnoxious and nerdy. I am what I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very lovable.
Popeye.
And her boyfriend, would you say Popeye?
Yeah. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Oh, I was thinking La Cage aux Folles. I am what I am.
Did I do it right?
Do you know that song? You don't know La Cage aux Folles?
I'm not as gay as
La
you.
Cage aux Folles?
I actually don't.
You don't know La Cage aux Folles? It's what
I'm
the
so
Birdcage
sorry.
is based on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, La Cage aux Folles. It's just beautiful. It's this beautiful where it's like a gay couple. Oh, you gotta listen. It's a gay couple, and their daughter is getting married to a son their son is getting married to a daughter who has like very conservative senator parents.
Got it.
And so the son says to his non-biological father, "Could you say you're my uncle? Could you lie?" And instead he dresses as a woman and presents as a woman to like fool the family. It's beautiful, but there's a song called "I Am What I Am," and it's just like it's the Act 1 closer where
Nathan Lane says that line in the movie.
yes, and the song it's just it's just like a song of like I am sparkly and glittery, and it's that kind of stuff that I find resonates with me in a way that's tough to. It's just unusual. It's different. Falsettos is my favorite musical, and it's just about a man who leaves his wife for another man. And there's just something there's something in it. I don't know. Back to my story, musical theater. So, I was at Cap 21. This was used to be a branch of Tisch.
Yeah, yeah.
And this was just a summer program, a 7-week program. And there were a lot of kids who went to PPAS, which is Professional Performing Arts School, and they were like New York 16-year-olds. I had not done drugs. These kids did drugs. They were partying. And my dad, instead of a dorm room, is very privileged. He got me like a little, almost a little hotel room, honestly, for the entire camp, basically. And so I was the place to go have like parties or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember some kids do cocaine in my bathroom, and I was like, I was in a state of shock.
Yeah.
They got weed. They ran away from the drug dealer. Suddenly they say, "Look out the window," and the dealers are across the street looking like they're gonna shoot up the fuck. Like it was, these New York kids were rich. They had done TV and film. They were wild.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
suddenly they're just in my life. And so I was trying to hook up.
I went to school with kids like that. That was not my experience.
not me
but
at all.
I knew kids like that.
And they were like bitchy, and I was easily taken advantage of by. I'll tell you, because one of them is kind of a TV starish now, and he's a fucking cunt. So
yeah, tell me who.
so I was just trying to hook up with people, and I would buy the alcohol because I was tallest. So I got a fake ID. I got like a this was before what is that called? McLovin. Super bad. This was before Super Bad, but I had a Hawaii fake driver's license. I memorized my address in Hawaii. And New York, you could just go in. They didn't check at all. It was nuts compared to Maryland. New York, I said, can I have a gallon of your cheapest vodka? And they were like, here you go. And
We're like, here you go. You're over 6'2".
And so this one night, one of these New York kids just had us keep drinking. And I believe I had 15 shots of vodka.
In your tiny little body.
Yeah. And so there was one girl who I thought we were going to make out. She was like, can you massage my shoulders? And I did. And the moment I did, she just vomited all over my bed. And it was just like, oh, fuck. And so it was just a messy, sloppy 15-year-old party. And ultimately, everyone left except for me. And I'm trying to think, because I do a version of this on stage. I'm going to tell the real version. And I don't remember all the names, but it was a guy named Kevin and a guy named Steve. That might be the real names, but I don't care. And I
love you.
And Kevin was gay and Steve was straight, as far as I know. And we were just hanging out. I was
15 in.
And let me just say, I was browning out, blackout. I don't consider this a story of like taken advantage of. We were all super fucked up.
Yeah.
Just kids.
Yeah.
And I just remember really clearly the moments that I remember. I was super drunk. This was the last night of camp. And I remember
that's when the shit comes out.
Yes. And Steve said to me, or to Kevin, he said, just so you know, I'm straight, but I can make you feel amazing.
Wow, what? This is a porno.
Oh my God, that turned me on.
That was crazy. This kid was how old?
And
why does he have the president's confidence? That's insane.
That's Obama level blowjob.
That is
confidence. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Was it Mike Pence?
Sure. And I just remember like truly like I was like, okay. And all I really remember, the two parts is like
Is Kevin still in the room?
Kevin's still in the room. So he's like in the bed and he's the openly gay one. Oh. But right now Steve and I are having like a moment or whatever.
Sure.
And so all I really remember
was Steve talented.
All I remember is that I was very soft. I was fully 100% soft, and like Steve like was trying, and I like the little blips I remember because I was brutal. I was so drunk. Was just like him trying, and me like clearly feeling like nothing was happening.
Yeah,
nothing was happening. It was going in, and I remember that then Kevin got out his dick, and Steven just kind of scooted over and started sucking his dick. And my last memory before I blacked out completely was watching Steve just suck off Kevin. I just thought, God, I'm so lonely.
Oh, God.
And
I'm so lonely?
I just like, it was just like a moment of like,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to make out with someone this whole camp.
Yeah.
And like I had.
And you were so different than these other
kids. And you were trying
kids.
so hard.
Yeah. And I don't know if there was ever a time where I was like, oh, I hope I'm gay. But it was more just like, it felt, I'm socially awkward in general. But when it is a lot of gay people and women all mingling, it does feel in that moment like, if I was gay, would I be able to find my place in this group right now?
Well, what you're describing is just that it's interesting because I think that is how gay people feel, but you're feeling it reversed because you're a guy and you have a lot, I don't even know how to describe it because it's not gender, but some of the things that you do are not in line with the way other guys function.
Sure.
And it doesn't make you less of a guy. It doesn't make you gay. But, like when you're hanging out with a group of people where you finally kind of fit in, but there's this barrier.
For sure. And so for some of these guys too, some of them, they just came out of the closet and it's the same thing with college where I had like gay friends, but then our social lives would end at a certain point and they would go to a club with their friends and I couldn't participate in that part of their life. And so there's just like, there's sometimes can just feel moments where you're out of place. And I think in that moment, listen, I was so wasted. I would have let anyone suck my dick at that point.
I gotta get 15 shots in you.
But there was certainly like a feeling of just like, sure, whatever, let's just try it. And then so the next day I woke up, they were gone. And my dad, I looked at my phone. I think I had cell phone at this point, I'm pretty sure. And I had like 50 missed calls from my dad. He was picking me up to drive me back home.
Yeah,
and I was so hungover and I've never been this hungover in my life. I could not move.
Good 15, actually 15, at 15 years old.
It was like, because I
That'll-
think I was
yeah.
15 and that was the thing that we were doing.
You could have died. Like,
And-
that's enough.
Absolutely.
Truly.
And I didn't have my traditional like glass of water before to, shake off the
No.
hangover. And my poor father, I couldn't lie. And he was cool in this regard at least. But I was like, I got to be honest with you, I can't move. And he had to pack up all my things.
Oh my God.
And like I got in the car, I threw up 3 times on the way. And then I just remember like driving away from New York City, looking at the skyline, having my little like, oh, New York City. Yeah.
That is a great story.
It's I think anytime you have to perform and pretend to be something that you're not and are an outsider, it's very difficult because it's funny because what you're talking about is like the same performance that I had to do to pretend to be someone I'm not to fit in. It's
Sure.
just like the reverse of it. And it's a very unique situation, but I think it's very relatable.
And ultimately, not to get a little fucking corny, but ultimately, like feminism and gay people and gender freedom is gonna help guys like this. You know
To a
what
degree,
I mean?
but I also think like, and this is only like I could easily just be jokey about it, but there are sometimes people where they'll go, oh, you're gay baiting or you're, and I'm like, this is how I like to express myself. If I were to dance, it's just like my body moves in a way that's feminine. I do think sometimes it feels a degree of like, I'm like, again, I wouldn't consider myself oppressed in any way, shape, or form. But I think sometimes there's this degree of just like, what are you doing? What is this thing? And I'm like, this is just what I am.
No,
Make the space.
I'm going to take your side on this because first of all, I think queer baiting is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like no one is benefiting from queer baiting. Sorry, gay people chronically chronically online people who think that people are getting more views or more money or whatever by like dancing on the line of being gay. No, they're not. They're not benefiting from that.
Yeah.
That is,
Or if they are, bad business decision.
yeah, exactly. Like that is actually risky to do.
I think I do agree with like where they go. Some of these celebrities go like, maybe I'm bi. Like if they're literally talking about like
Different thing.
yeah,
Because that's a full ownership of a quality that maybe they don't have, and we're not really allowed to speculate. That is like one of the frustrating things about being in this industry is like you don't want to erase a person who is bisexual.
Yeah.
But you're also like, wow, this was convenient after you booked the role.
Sure.
Like,
I think what Gianmarco is talking about is something that's like completely different because it's just
I
who you
agree.
are.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's
Yeah.
this fact of like queer baiting in the sense of like applying it to you is probably just like very annoying and obviously out of context because like you were, like me being at L.O.L and seeing you there, by far the gayest thing there.
Sure,
Which
sure.
was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I couldn't go up to anyone else.
Yeah.
It was like when I was growing up, I loved Scrubs because Zach Braff was the closest thing to gay.
sure.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, not actually. There were
I
a
had
couple
my own
other
versions
things,
of
but,
that
like,
with men,
Yeah.
relating to men because I was like, you are actualizing so much of what I want.
Right, and now Zach Braff would be like, that's gay bait or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I think it's a stupid term, and I think it's been totally.
But I
No
also
one
get,
cares
but-
about it
but I-
beyond like.
But I
online
also
gay
get like
people.
I can appreciate spaces that are made, for queer people to get opportunities that the mainstream doesn't allow them. But I also there's a degree where I'm like, I'm not
but you're
going to
not
fit
there.
in with the legion of skanks. I mean, if you look at me. In my comedy career, it was you and Jay Jordan were my closest friends. Like just immediately, that's just what I gravitate towards. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
And then there was like the audiences
you
are
hate lesbians?
homophobic.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I'll say like,
Can you give us another line reading on that?
but you, for example, and this is not, I'm not upset about it at all, but like, you had your show at the Strand.
Yeah.
And it was a queer show.
A queer show.
And there's sometimes a degree where I go
But
like,
you would book straight people, right?
I stopped doing it after like a little while. I did it for like a year.
Okay.
and I do think I have mixed minds. Like I get it. And then there's part of me like, I want to hang out with you guys too.
This is so funny that you're bringing this up because I've been in an ongoing debate. Debate's a little strong about bringing men into queer spaces and whether or not, can I bring you as my friend to Cubbyhole? And there are people there's complications because it's like, okay, well then, I met in Milwaukee, I met this woman who came out as trans, and it was quite literally her first day.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
So super male presenting.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah, let her the fuck into cubbyhole. But if you saw her, you would not ever think, oh, she should be allowed into cubbyhole, right?
Sure, and that's why it's just it's tough to be. Then what do you do? 100 days into the transition,
right?
Then
Exactly.
You can come to the cubbyhole. I mean,
so it's like a slippery slope in either direction. And if everyone is acting there in good faith, which is really all we're asking, right? Anyone can go into any bar and act in bad faith. Anyone can go in.
I should have been on the Hannah Gadsby Netflix.
You should have
lineup,
been. Yes.
And sorry, that's just how I feel.
That's really funny.
I agree.
Hannah Gadsby came out with a gender non-conforming.
I'm aware of it.
Oh, I'm telling the audience.
Oh.
Special.
Did
today
I
with
fuck
like
it up
6
just now?
people. No.
Okay.
No. Just adding context. Never mind. I'll never do that again.
Yeah. Quit hosting.
God,
third
you guys
mic.
are so mad at me.
Anyway.
Am
That
I
was
going?
like incredible.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
that was amazing. Thank you.
Never mind.
That felt like a fucking podcast. It was, and we found it. We found our chemistry, which is really good.
We did.
I certainly still feel more of a beta than I've ever felt in my life.
Well,
but
you are.
Sure.
Listener, between my ancient age and my aching bones, no surprise that this podcast is brought to you by Helix. I absolutely love my Helix mattress. I need good sleep, and I get it on my Helix mattress. And don't just take my word for it, okay? Helix has been the #1 mattress pick by GQ and Wired magazines. It's even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. Plus, Helix mattress comes with a 10 or 15-year warranty depending on the model, so you don't have to stress. Plus, there's a 100-night trial. And if you don't like your mattress, Helix will come and get it for you, and you'll be fully refunded, okay? So don't lose sleep over that. Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/gaysex. That's helixsleep.com/gaysex. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Did you have gay sex this week?
I did. I'll actually tell Gianmarco because you don't know I have a boyfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
They are the
you.
same. It's beautiful.
Yeah, she met him last night.
I
and
love him.
She loves him. I will show her.
They're the same in which way?
Jews.
They're the same.
Yeah.
They
Other
look
questions?
like bear and otter versions of each other.
Yeah.
It looks like you put in an AI and you describe what Sam looks like, and you're like, okay, as otter, as bear.
Yeah, his hands are really fucked up.
Really good AI joke.
Yes, sick. Okay. Yeah, I'm a very needy host. You have to compliment my riffs. For
You're not
me
a
to do
host.
well.
You're a co-host. You're a third mic.
There you go. There's a
Yes.
problem right there.
Yeah.
You is he? Oh, how
So-
old is he?
Yeah, this is the thing. Guess.
Well, it sounds like he made a big deal. So he's younger. Wow.
Well, we're the same age.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm
I
really
love
excited
doing this.
about this. No,
Because I
nothing
keep-
against age gaps, and if you're into older folks, but just
Shut the fuck up.
His-
Here's the thing: is I've been telling everybody that he's the same age as me, and everyone goes, "Are you okay?" Which is like, I'm like, wow, I'm so good at branding. I'm so proud of myself. Like,
you really are.
I think I went too far because
'Cause
everyone's
Sam is really
legitimately
into older
like,
guys.
people don't believe me. I was at
And, like it presents challenges for sure.
being an older guys, yes.
Yeah. So
And also, I made two
the
solo shows about
the
it.
generational gap is the generational gap, at least from what I've experienced, is real.
Oh
and
my God.
also
it's so different being
that
with a younger guy.
now that now after
It's
everything
so
you've
different.
been through, I'm trying to hold your hand, you piece of shit.
Oh, I just don't know because you never like to touch me.
Now after everything that you've been through, like I worry. I'm like a mom to you. Like
Yes.
like I witnessed something that I was like, you can't go through that again.
Yes, and also you've been very protective of me through the dating since Jonathan passed.
Yeah. So if you're listening, can I
Sure.
Yeah, Sam lost his partner during COVID. He passed away from COVID.
Did you say can I like he didn't make a solo show about it and told everyone he fucking
No, there
could?
was a period of time.
Yeah, there's like, we have a lot of communication about, I guess, how to talk about this. That like,
Sure.
Because like I actually like making jokes, and sometimes I don't love it when other people make jokes, and people assume that I want other people to make jokes about it because I'm
it's a tough lot as a comedian to because you can't.
Totally.
We participate in a rough sport.
And look, I'm genuinely very, very, very actually offended by anything that anybody says. But like with my best friend and we talk about very intimate stuff, I feel comfortable being like, here's how I want you to talk about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're on a podcast, but like, yeah.
Right.
So I'm really excited that you're dating someone your age.
I know, you really are. Yeah.
You said
Can I ask, is it not to bring the mood down, is it when you date someone, do you the first date, do you tell them like you went through this intense experience?
Yeah.
Because it's such a...
Well, gay people get really intense on... I don't know about gay men, but gay women get pretty fucking intense on a first date.
Well, that's because women are so annoying.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's bring the mood back up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so... I'd say I say it's easy because if you've looked at Googled me, you know.
Sure.
So it's easier to date when you're famous, and I think everyone out there really just like apply that
From what
to your lives.
experience are you pulling that from?
No,
I think as someone who made a play about my ex, that has certainly been a topic of conversation with my current girlfriend, and I feel like it's that.
We both don't off-Broadway shows about our exes.
You have a show about your ex?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I saw it. It was terrible.
Whoa.
Careful. That's my no joke zone. For you, it's a dead lover. For me, it's my off-Broadway show.
I told you how much I loved it.
I know. Okay, you're very sweet. You're one of the few comics who came.
I didn't know you had a show. I would have come.
It was as I was really going full stand-up. So it was 2000,
like 2018, 2019?
Oh, it was a while ago.
2016.
No, because I was not in I
20,
hadn't started comedy then.
2017, 2018.
Yeah, must have been.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that's all I mean is that I think
a
there's
show
just a
about your
degree
ex
of
is a bold move. A living ex?
It was like she was gonna do this. We were gonna do a two-hander. We were both actors. We were both gonna do a two-hander, even though we had split up. And then it became about the play that never happened and what would have happened had it happened. It was a very Charlie Kaufman-esque kind of
I love it.
theatrical piece. And at the end, the goal, it really only worked a couple times, was you thought she was her playing herself on stage. I reveal it wasn't, but she's in the audience tonight, and I finally propose, having learned my lesson, and she leaves the theater. And my little brother saw it, and he thought it was real. He started filming on his phone because he thought it was proposing.
Oh my God, I love that.
And it was like, it did not always hit the mark, but the few times it did, it was just like...
That's so hard to do. And that you have to
So
run
hard.
that again
In your
and
defense,
again and
it
again.
would have hit the mark if you had the right audience. The night I went, it was older.
You went to a matinee.
Theater, what? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I'm sure I did.
Yeah. No, and you got to be. There's a lot of reasons it didn't work.
But what
it
I
was,
loved was how fucking theatrical and how fucking stand-up it was.
Yeah.
Like the stand-up was as tight as Gianmarco's stand-up, and it was also like didn't hold back on theater at all. And that's like the ultimate goal, I think, for me. And so let me talk about how I feel about solo shows for the next 20 minutes.
No, please, anything. Anything but that.
Do you want gay sex?
Yeah.
So it's not gay sex, but it was, I texted him before this, can I tell the poop story? And he said, yes. And I said, I love you very much.
Okay.
This was like literally 2 weeks ago. And he came over to my place, and I knew that I wanted to tell him that I loved him and asked him to be my boyfriend. And he came over, but I didn't know I was going to do it that night. And he came over and he just like immediately went to the bathroom, and then it's like taking a while. It's like 20 minutes. And I'm like, what's going on in there? Eventually,
20 minutes?
Yeah. Eventually I'm like, oh, he's douching. Which is weird because we just like didn't talk about it. And then he comes back out.
Had you
douching
guys had
take?
sex before?
Yes.
Douching takes that long?
Don't usually I thought you were the bottom.
Well,
You're the top in this relationship because that makes sense emotionally having met him, but like
you met him once and you're like total bottom.
but like are you topping?
I'm topping. Babe, but we've talked about this
Sam,
before.
wow.
I'm like, first of all, haven't had that much anal sex.
Right.
And also have done both kind of equally.
Okay.
So it's
I
not that
remember
surprising.
once we were talking at Broadway Comedy Club, this was years ago, but you were like, I don't need to have penetrative sex. You were talking more like you were more just blowing.
Yeah, at that
It
point in
might
my
have
life,
been
I
I
was.
think a surprising amount of gay men feel this way, and it doesn't get
Yeah,
talked about
side.
enough.
Do you know what a side is? A side?
Aside?
Not in a sitcom.
No.
A side is someone who doesn't have anal sex, so they just are doing everything else.
Oh.
And it's very common, and now
Aside
it's like a
because
thing.
you want to toss them aside?
Well, it's like A space side.
Uh-huh.
It's a thing on Grindr now, and like it's quite common.
Like a side dish.
Yeah, is that a thing people want to be referred to? Aside? I mean, it feels parentheses
Demeaning.
derogatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
A little.
Yeah, aside. A side
Especially
piece?
'cause,
What's
like-
a side piece?
Well, I guess it's just like you're a top, you're a bottom, or you're a side. I never thought anything about
Yeah,
it.
I guess it's the only one left.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
Okay, so he comes out and he's just so nervous and sweaty, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I clogged your toilet." And here's the thing: he's so apologetic.
Can
It's
I
so
put this out
sweet.
there as a constipated girlie? I feel him.
Yeah,
I have clogged a toilet in an embarrassing scenario.
and it is a small apartment. It is like not a good toilet to clog. And then he goes, "Also, I missed."
What?
Yeah, and I said, "What?" And I had to like calm him down, and he's sweating, and I'm like
missed the
hugging
toilet?
him, and I'm like, "What happened?" And he goes, "I thought the toilet was on one side, and so I swung the door open and I pooped, and the toilet was on the other side."
He squatted?
He pooped on my wall.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
An older man would have never.
Can I ask you a question? Why is he squatting in your bathroom? Are you cleaning your toilet, you piece of shit?
No. What are you talking about? He thought that the toilet was, he like had to go, opened the door, poop came out, realized it was not where the toilet was.
So this is an instantaneous thing. Poop
Yes.
was just head
I
out of
know,
him.
I'm feeling bad about this but I asked him and he said this is okay.
Because he's the fucking best and you should marry him.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with him.
Oh my God, he's gonna love this.
I love him.
Before you marry him, make sure you can afford a cleaner every day.
Yes, seriously.
I'm buying into the story, but there was a part of me that I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
I've been pooping for a long time now, and never have I been like,
Oh, I don't
the toilet
understand
was
that.
there.
This is how you know I'm in love, because I was just holding him and I that's when I said it, and sort of by
What I'm
accident.
visualizing is he's like racing into the bathroom because he really has to shit, and he's like unbuttoning and he's like opening the door, and he thinks it's over here, and he just turns and he starts pooping on the way down, and then the poop
When you
is
say
already.
he thinks it's over here, is he blind? What do you mean he thinks it's over here? It's a toilet.
Yeah, no,
Did you
I
have-
have the exact same questions. I really don't know. I
On
feel
the
like
other
you're-
wall, did you paint a picture of a toilet and it's very confusing?
There's a mirror. There's a mirror.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't make any sense because it's the tiniest bathroom in the
decoy
world.
toilet.
Roadrunner, yeah. Wile E. Coyote.
There's a toilet that says there's a sign that says the toilet is on the other wall. It doesn't make any sense. But he's like so. And honestly, he was just like so
Well,
cute.
I'm going to choose to believe him because he didn't do this on purpose.
That would be wild.
You know, like it had to have been a crazy accident.
It
because,
must be.
Yeah,
What
I
if he
mean, I'd
knew-
love to speak to him about it.
I think we should have him on the pod.
Okay.
If
Make
knew
sure
how
he uses
cute-
the bathroom before he gets here.
Every time he goes to the
What's
bathroom now,
weird to
Ashley's
me-
like, by the way,
wait.
the toilet.
Time out. He both pooped on the wall and clogged the toilet because that feels like a mixture of diarrhea and constipation. So that's
I have no idea, but yes, because then we spent the rest of the
This is
night
how you know
trying
he's Jewish,
to unclog. Yeah. Also by the anxiety after.
was it just a real heavy duty poop, but it came out quickly and then he got some on the wall and then he deposited the poop into the toilet? Was there a poop deposit?
I think that's the most insane thing anyone's ever said.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to go through that idea, you take poop from the wall and you put it into the toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was diarrhea, so he was like wiping off the walls. He wiped off the walls before he left, and I think that's why it took so much time.
Was there Lysol in them? Sorry. Okay.
Yes, there was. There was all kinds of cleaning in the...
Good.
I got in there and I was like, you could have murdered. I could not have there
And
was no
that's
poop
the green
anywhere.
flag, everybody.
Yeah. Anyway, just to wrap up the story, he was telling me this and he was like so apologetic and anxious, and I just like blurted out "I love you" by accident. So it was actually like a very sweet story.
That was the first I love you?
Yeah. I know. It's our origin story.
So cute.
I know.
Oh God. He had to say it back. I mean,
Yeah.
if you shit on the wall and you said I love you, you got no choice. You got no choice.
For the rest of his life, he has to be like, yeah, I don't like him, but you'll understand.
But I shat on his
I shat on his wall and he said, I love you. And
His
I had to
vows
say
at the
it back.
wedding are like, when I shat on your wall,
I'm so sorry about shitting on your wall. I guess I'm going to have to keep shitting on your wall to keep you here.
That was a great story.
Oh, thank you.
I love him.
know
I think
you
he's
do.
the one.
Okay, dude. Let's pull it back on the podcast.
Don't wreck it with the long
because
distance. Don't wreck it.
We're going to try. Yeah, because I met him and now I'm moving to LA.
how long you been together?
We met in the beginning of, somewhat in the beginning of December.
So pretty fresh.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty fast.
That's an early love you.
But here's the thing, like some things just speed up relationships, like pooping on your wall.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
That'll speed
Well,
things up.
this was an episode, and we have to let Gianmarco go because he's been here for hours.
I'm sorry.
What do you want to plug for people?
Listen to my podcast, The Downside.
I have an episode. I'm sure Sam
Ashley's
does.
been on. Sam's been on.
Yeah.
So check out their episodes. And then
People got really mad at me in the clip that you posted.
It was a good clip.
It was a good
was a
clip.
good clip.
It was a good clip. I knew exactly what you were doing with it too, and I respected it.
Yeah. And The Downside is the name of the podcast. And then I'm touring. I just tour. I'm in New York a lot, but I'm tour all over the country. Australia, Tokyo, Dublin.
He's
Barcelona.
a very, very talented stand-up.
Yeah,
So
tragically, I'm going to confirm that.
So, I know that you're not used to going to stand up at all, let alone straight stand up, but this will feel gay to you, as you sort of confirmed.
Yeah.
yeah,
so go.
John Marco's audience is all theater
Go
kids.
support.
It's very. I mean, truly, there's a
Yeah.
lot of queer people in the audience, and I always I consider it. It's nice because it feels like it reflects the community that I grew up in.
Oh,
and
that's
so
so
it feels
nice.
like I'm true to
Yeah.
myself in
It
my
is
art.
amazing. Your audience is great. I mean, I just did, he has a weekly show in New York City every
Sunday. Or no, it's Wednesdays now.
every
I
Wednesday
can
at
do
Sesh.
it. Hell, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
you're right.
We can
You
do each other's shows.
Yeah.
And the audience was amazing, and I could tell that they were like your audience. It was really cool.
They're theater. They're
Yeah,
live
and not
theater
in the way that I
kids.
can tell it's audience, Ashley's audience, and that like I hate them. They were fun.
Yeah.
But they've been better lately.
They
Last
have.
Sunday,
They've been
this
fantastic.
past Sunday was not
except for this past Sunday.
fun,
They've been fantastic.
but otherwise good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Gianmarco. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for
Sam,
having
anything
me.
you want to plug?
Oh my God. Yeah, check out my Instagram handle at Samuel H. Morrison, and also go to www.samuelmorrison.com for
think you added an extra
tickets.
W.
And I'm moving to LA, and I'm starting a weekly at Bar Lubitsch with Dylan Adler. That's every Monday.
Hey, that's good to know.
And I will be doing
Good
it.
to know.
Neither of you have enough followers to be booked. I'm so sorry. Welcome to Los Angeles.
And you? Plugz?
If you're still here and you're not on my fucking text alert or email alert or my Patreon, like who are you? Fuck you. Thank you for listening. Oh God, second gay thought of the day.
Gay thought is me.
That's what Jen says.
Hop on.
So
I
Sam,
didn't know my name was Couch.
so
Hell yeah, Jen. Fuck me, Dad. This is gonna be chaotic energy. Fuck me.
I'm not having sex with you, but your butt looks nice.
Thank you, Dad.
I love your outfit. I think you look really good.
Say you like my ass. So look at my eyes and say it.
I'm not doing that.
Why?
Sam, this has a format. I have to do a thing.
Yeah, you're so annoying about that.
I'm not even annoying about it. They want, okay. Thank you for listening. Patreon.com/WHGS to make this possible.
Here, I'll help you. Thank you.
Okay, and now I have to say a gay thought.
Oh, cool.
Do you have any gay thoughts?
Yeah, all of my thoughts are gay.
Because you're gay?
Yeah. I'd say, like, oh, those columns are nice. And that was a thought, and I am gay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, my
Are
gay
they
thought.
nice, though?
Does it have to be actually, like, about queer culture or something?
No, it can just be a thought that you have. You wanna
Great.
pitch
I'm
a
going to
bit?
go ahead. People love when I do this and complain about diabetes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I was high the whole time. I'm 284
Maybe
now.
that's why your riffs were just so bad.
She seems so nice on the podcast, doesn't she?
No, I don't.
She does. She says this is. It's like it's so hard. I'm just like it's really. I was 284. Like, and if you know, you know. So like very out of it.
Well, you did a really good job on the pod.
Thank you.
Like I was just messing around.
I'm just like very cranky. And I'm just like so cranky because like this shouldn't happen. I did all the right things. I counted my carbs. I pre-bolused. I waited 20 minutes.
Yes.
As I was running over here, so I was scared that I was actually going to go
Yes,
low.
you math queen. You science queen.
Thank you. Go off me.
Go off. Do you consider yourself disabled?
Yeah.
Okay, go off disabled queen.
I didn't like it when she said it.
I'm disabled. We're both disabled queens. We found out around
Well,
the
you're
same
a disabled
time.
king. Yes. Go off, disabled king. Tell me your gay thought. Is that a gay thought?
Not really.
Just that I'm frustrated.
Alex is telling us to rap, and you know when Alex is telling us to rap, things are bad.
Jesus, I thought this was like phenomenal content.
Anyway,
Alex, fuck you too, dude. Why is this tough crowd?
we should have sucked his dick and
Figured out who was the best.
and who figured out who was the best while we had the chance.